Inside Story Uganda, real source of political updates.
Raised by other masters, and NRM is one of those masters, from Obote to Amini to NRM. So we'll always make a comparison between Uganda under the colonial administration,
the white,
and Uganda under Museveni, Amini, and Obote. I want us to be independent, but I am not one of those who will celebrate if I am mistreated by a black man. And I say it is better, I would rather be mistreated by Museveni. If there is a white man who will give me peace and he doesn't lock me in his basement, shave my beard and beat me, that's the point I made earlier. You have 170,000 Ugandans who are in Saudi Arabia working as maids. Do they love Saudi Arabia that has given them, put some food on the table more than Uganda? Which reason do they have to love Uganda more than Saudi Arabia, all those who have gone to Dubai and elsewhere? Because the whole idea, the essence of fighting for independence was self-determination, to make our lives better. People have accused, even our teachers in classrooms have accused colonialists of exploiting our minerals, exploiting everything. Has that exploitation stopped? It hasn't. People, the other day when I was making a response to the budget, if you look at Uganda's budget, you have about 500,000, to be precise, 400,000 people work for government. They share about 12% of the budget. Then you have another 48, sometimes 38% that goes into debt servicing. So people who are paid the salary, because I kept asking, we have about 300 billion every year for special meals and drinks, and I asked colleagues at Parliament, you've given me a salary, why must you give me breakfast, breakfast that we never take? So the people in government are enjoying the same benefits like colonial masters were enjoying them, same protection, same everything. So the ordinary person, and that's why people are not bothered. The only time I have seen Ugandans unite and be Ugandan is when they are playing football in Nambole. That's where everybody will go and participate. That's where everybody will be on TV. If you put there football there and Museveni giving a speech, I can tell you more than half of the country will watch football, and maybe Namayanja, who is employed by Museveni, will be the only one watching Museveni. Because they
put a regulation on these people. When the president is speaking, all media houses must tune in. Because people are choosing to listen to other things.
So there is no value that you added. In fact, people may even regret having chased away colonialists and then have black people. But we continue conducting ourselves the same way we're conducting ourselves under colonial setup.
You want to call NRM black colonial masters?
I don't see any difference. People are still going to Entebbe lining up. So the whole of Uganda is owned by Museveni. Even when he's campaigning, I will give you this, I will give you this, I will give you this. So this is like an enterprise he inherited from his parents.
Let me add you one thing. When you dig into the archives, when the governor Hesketh Bell brought the first car in Uganda, he used to give it out to traders from Entebbe to come to Kampala on Tuesdays and Fridays, because he didn't need to use it. That is a Muzungu colonialist. Now the black colonialist you are talking about, they have to close off the roads from Entebbe to Kampala, and business comes to a standstill, and for him to travel. So I just wanted to enhance your point.
Thank you very much. So I don't see a difference. I mean, I was born post-colonial, but I don't see a difference between Museveni and Sir Andrew Cohen. People used to make trips to Entebbe. I was helping the late Mayanja to do his autobiography. When he wanted a scholarship, he went to Entebbe. And that's how he ended up at Cambridge. Museveni still runs a scholarship under his armpit. So if Namayanja wants, and you are a beneficiary of that scholarship, so if you want a scholarship, you run to Entebbe the same way people are running there. So Yohana Kasike cannot give anyone a scholarship to go anywhere, but Museveni can. So what's the difference between Museveni and Sir Andrew Cohen? Even the achievements, NRM never likes contextualizing.
Museveni was voted by the people.
NRM never likes contextualizing their argument. They argue out of context deliberately. when Namanya is speaking about growth, she will not tell you what the population was, because I think Uganda was about 5 million when we got independence. At that time, this country was producing either 3 or 2.6 bags of coffee. That first dam in Jinja was built using coffee stabilization fund. That coffee stabilization fund was even used to offer scholarship to students. You, for the 40 years, because I want you to account for the 40 years, I was reading Nana Akufo inaugural speech in Ghana in 2017, and he said, the Africans no longer have an excuse to blame history. All the mess that we have caused, we need to blame ourselves. You can no longer blame colonialists, you cannot blame Amini, you cannot blame Obote. Qatar was turned around in 23 years. This king who was there, his father turned around that country in 23 years and handed over to his son. But it was also like any other desert country. If you go to Dubai, in Dubai, they don't have resources. Oil will contribute just about 3%. People there celebrate the managers. The managers are the ones who have turned around a country that doesn't have resources like we have. But there are also other African countries that have made progress.
Okay.
If you go to Ghana, allow me to
Are you talking stagnation, stuntedness, or lack of progress at all?
I don't even know. I'm not sure whether we know where we are and where we are going. Even those who are in government, they have no idea. Look, they keep blaming the opposition.
That's stagnation.
I think the only cabinet retreat you guys have had, where Professor Ezra Suruma, at that time he was heading something unity under Prime Minister. On all aspects, he was scoring yourself negative. Even when you look at the implementation of your own programs and policies, UNDP, your performance has averaged 18%. I don't know where you get the 80%, Honorable Namanya. Maybe you live in a different world. Because the documents you do...
I don't expect you to give it 80%.
I'm not the one. I have said, if you look at documents from Minister of Finance, they have said Development Plan 3, Development Plan 2, you have averaged 18% performance in all the years. You just abandon one document, as the guest has said, you name another one and continue. The things that you set out to achieve under Development Plan 3, your achievement was 17%,
Yes.
16% Development Plan 2, now you're on Development Plan. So you change names and change title and then go and say protecting our gains. If you look at the figures from the population census, you have 26 million people who are in the, according to the policy, the labor policy of 2011, who are supposed to be in employment. Only 9 million are working out of 26. You have 10 million young people aged 18 and 30. 5 million of those are not in school, are not in work. So really, and that's why they are every day. If you went to Entebbe, in other countries, if you go to Dubai, they have visitors who are visiting Dubai every year. 54 million people visiting Dubai. For you, the figures you have of Ugandans running away from their country, and maybe that's the achievement that you bring on table. So for me, because if there are other things, maybe you will say, okay, we are poor, but at least we are okay. You are still kidnapping people. You are still abducting. You were in Kolo today celebrating the return of Mande. Besigye, who was treating both Mande and Museveni, is in prison for no crime he has committed. So I don't know. NRM people are very courageous. Otherwise, on a show like this, you shouldn't even be coming. But they are very courageous people. They will come here, put on a very brave face and say, this country has achieved. We are now protecting our gains.
Like she said, everyone is looking at things from
No, that's not true. I have given you their own assessment of their own performance. I'm not the one who scored them on the performance of Development Plan 3. They scored themselves.
I want us to wind up on this. How do you take in that scorecard? Because
of course, it takes in a lot of time when you get from all the three what they are saying, and you note down, and yet you are given the same amount of time. But when we talk about, first of all, President Museveni is one of the presidents in Africa that have come out openly to criticize foreign influence openly. So for one to say that President Museveni always works and coordinates with the whites and the former colonial masters, it's also wrong. It has not been a bed of roses. That is one. Two, when you talk about the colonial masters of the time, what were they doing in as far as governance is concerned? They had the Entebbe as an administrative center. They had the judiciary, but they also had the Legico, the members of parliament then. Now, who replaced the members of parliament? Let's now move from 1986 or 1995 to now. It is both NRM and the opposition. When my sister Aisha says that when you see leaders living lavishly and taking a lot of money, members of parliament, including those in the opposition, are part of the leaders in this country.
Yes.
So when you get 50 million shillings a month, for me, I don't mind whether it is an NRM MP or an opposition MP. I just want to one time see somebody say, I am not going to take that 50%. And you get that bullet. So for us to sit here and you say it's NRM that is in leadership and that is taking all this, but I am saying that you as
shoot it down.
No, you have the capacity as members
COVID,
of parliament because
COVID,
you submit.
During COVID,
you submit your accounts.
We said each MP should take 20 million,
and they put this
and
money on
Museveni
your...
said you will bring it back. Didn't we take it back?
For me, what I'm saying is that
20 million, he said you must bring it back.
Yes, they
and we
brought
took it back.
Yes.
But you, why do you want President Museveni to tell you he's not your...
No, but they don't have the numbers.
Whether I'm
They don't have the
parliament
numbers.
or not, that money will still be paid.
Radical decisions require also radical people to take them.
You want me to
so
behave like
saying,
Twawula who moved out of parliament and nothing changed?
Yeah, let it be counted, but he's still, you can still refer to him.
When you are in government,
no, it's unfortunate that when they are speaking, I humbly allow them.
Debate. It's okay.
I allow them to make their contribution, and as soon as I start, they come in. But what I'm saying, that lead us in that aspect, because we are all there in the house. Then the other issue, we can speak a lot of...
Let's allow her make her submission.
No, I'm just giving her information.
We can speak a lot of...
Maybe she doesn't know.
We can speak a lot of English here.
Maybe you don't know. We have chosen to lead you over that. Because Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu has offered that once he becomes president, he's going to cut government
before
expenditure.
he becomes president.
How do we are not
you
the
are
leaders?
already in parliament.
But you know there is collective decision. Once parliament
no
decides,
parliament does not have collective responsibility.
The institutions behave like that's the form of blackmail. You want two sides in parliament.
There is no collective responsibility in parliament.
No,
it is your right as a legislator. It is your right as a legislator.
Noted.
We have offered. We are going to cut salaries.
No, you just
let's relax.
Aisha, just say from now, even these 3 months,
so that we still it also.
Let me lead us by
every
example.
money. Okay, let me give you every money that has been returned. Every money that has been returned by members of parliament, there's no accountability to it. Let her tell us. Every money that you have returned, it doesn't go back. It doesn't go back to the consolidated fund. It disappears.
I am not in parliament. I am just
Honorable Namayanja, we need to wrap up on this.
No, I just wanted to conclude on one thing when they said that we keep changing from one program to the other. Still, I will go back to what...
Giving new names.
I will go back to what Aisha said. We learn from mistakes. Where we have not performed well, we come out by ourselves. President Museveni came out and said, NADS has not performed to its expectation. It also a virtue. It also takes leadership for you to acknowledge where you have not done well.
Now we have
and
PDM,
he said,
which are using for
and you
politics.
have said that we were saying that NADS, 45% of the resources would go in capacity building, in workshops, and paying salaries. And he said, I want a single spine
How long did it take him
agricultural
to see that?
structure. Now, when you talk about PDM, we can speak English here of whatever format and nomenclature. But the Ugandans down there, if they get their 1 million, those who cannot even buy this newspaper, Mr. Igesa, you are bringing and say, I have bought this newspaper, I even buy online. But that Ugandan who did not have a coin to buy books, even for a UPE school, got a 1 million shillings.
10 million
and
per
said,
parish, right?
No, 100
million.
100
And
million
the
per
difference with this money is that it is not managed by the district, it is not managed by the sub-county, it is managed by people who are elected by themselves at that level.
I want to support you over that.
For me, I can say that the 3.5 million households that have received this money, even if 1 million has made a stride, has changed from where they were to where we are, it is a positive statistic.
I want to support you over that positive stride. You give 1 million shillings someone, he's happy, he gets it, he goes to hospital, he needs 20 million shillings for treatment, and he doesn't have it. The machines are down.
For you, you're talking about 20 million at the hospital.
They need more money for treatment, which government has not offered, yet you have given him the 1 million shillings.
I think we are losing focus. As we get out of here,
I'm glad you saw it.
As we get out of here,
System
what did the colonizers do that NRM hasn't done?
What did the colonizers do?
In terms of evil.
No. I'm not talking about evil.
No, for me, I want to agree with what Honorable Semiju said. And it is not just Uganda alone. The blacks, the Africans, were left with the systems that they were not used to.
So we are still learning.
It has been a process. That's why for me it is a journey. You cannot say, Simon, even if another government takes over today, that next year it will be 100%. It's never. Okay. We must understand it's a journey. There have been, like I said in the ad which came here, trials and triumphs. For us, we can comfortably say that this one we didn't do well, and we want to improve. And the president has said it. Let me give you the example of roads. When the president comes out and said, you know, I think there's been a problem. We leave these roads, they get destroyed, and we see them. We want to improve now. That we have a rapid response to, even if it's a pothole, let's clean it and move. That's leadership.
Very interesting. I want us now to move on to the next topic.
But some of the things that have been stated. Simon,
in a minute.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Painfully, yes.
I will start from where she has stopped. Honorable is talking about the president talking about roads. I mean, are you saying we don't have trained engineers here? I remember in our first week in engineering school 20 years ago, they told us that you know, a road has a design life. Every engineering structure has a design life. Are you telling me our engineers here don't tell them, for example, Gaba Road, which was rehabilitated towards the NAM Summit, when it was constructed in 2004, are you telling me that we didn't know? Me as a first year student then, I knew that this road, the planning needs to be in place for it to be reworked even before the design life is run. We run it down. So in other words, the thing is this. The thing is this.
Even when in a home, the leader of a home says this is what we are going to do, there could be other children who may not follow. Just even in politics, you see political parties moving, and they said this is the journey we want to take, and this is how we want to take it. And because people don't agree, that's when you see even parties
no, the
split.
point, Honorable is running away from the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room here is the leader's priorities lie elsewhere. The leader's priorities are in consolidating power.
Our leader's priorities are documented, by the way.
His priorities are in consolidating power and entrenching himself in power.
That is according to the gospel of Ogesa.
Yes, but no, it's in the open.
By the way, on the other hand,
he says he's consolidating gains.
On the other hand, there is no political party that will work to get out of power.
Thank you.
It's not there.
I want us to make an evaluation of the 2 weeks of campaigns. What's your look of things? I'll begin with you, Honorable Aisha Karanda. How do you assess the 2 weeks of campaigns in terms of the excitement, the promises, the speeches, and the conduct of stakeholders?
2 years into
2 weeks.
Rather, 2 weeks into campaign time, presidential campaign time. Honorable Namanja has just said that they're in a learning process. They keep learning and unlearning. I don't know whether they've been able to unlearn, because well, what I've noticed, I see a lot of enthusiasm on the part of the people that come to our rallies, but despite that, all constraints that are underway Our candidate has been restrained severely to have the liberty of moving around the districts on a day he's supposed to be in a particular district, because the program is designed in the way that a candidate is in a particular district on a particular day. Even then, you're meant to be in a particular district, the RDCs will restrict you to some particular corner and make sure they divert you to some particular routes where they think it serves their master well. The NRM candidate...
Is the compliance of your candidate anything to surprise the nation? He used to be defiant.
He has tried. I have seen where he has had to jump on a border when the road is closed. He has had to run through plantations to have his way. But should things work like that? In a process where he's saying the NRM has worked so much to ensure that things are moving progressively. Is that how things should be? I saw NRM supporters having a procession in Ruwero. I saw them in Pakwach. I have not seen the same liberty being given to my candidate. And also remember that we are working on a very restricted schedule. You have 100 days to cover, is it 149 districts? 100 days, 140-something district. And then you have several hindrances. We are unable to go to Iganga because the powers that are, they thought maybe they just didn't want us to go there, that's all. They just didn't want. So within the limited time, you have to ensure that you reach people and speak to them. We are thankful to the people that despite all odds have been attending our rallies and listening to the president in numbers.
Well, there is this fuss about crowds. It appears as though NRM and the National Unity Platform are rivaling in terms of crowds.
You may call it so. You may call it so. I have seen children in some particular rallies. Children. I have seen children on her candidates' rallies.
Her opinion.
Yes, and I have also seen. I have seen buses ferrying people to come. We don't ferry people; they come by themselves. So you can judge.
Egali, we see crowds following in processions.
Talking about Egali, President's entourage has how many vehicles and how many people? When you consider President Museveni's entourage and the other candidates, who ferries people? But leave alone the Gari that comes along with the candidate. I have told you, go where NRM is, there are buses ferrying people to gather. That's what it is.
Simon, no, the politics of crowds in politics is you cannot say it is different for the NRM and the opposition. The politics of crowds is the same. The difference is the motivation of the people attending. The people who attend the NRM rallies, sometimes they finish the rally and they start asking, Aliwat Kolako.
They share.
Who is going to sort us out? Now the ones who are attending their caravan, the NUP caravan, they don't have the luxury of asking who is going to sort us out. So at the end of the day, the crowds may appear to be big for both parties. It doesn't mean that the people in that area will end up voting that particular candidate, because there are so many that have been ferried in the area or have brought themselves out of probably passion for the candidate or other motivating factors, like we have said. They will ask
you'll allow me to get back to Honorable Aisha Kabanda. How unpleasant or strange is it that your principal has now resorted to attacking colleagues in the opposition who are not holding NUP flags? I'll give you the example of Bujiri, his address that concentrated on attacking the person of Basaliro.
You see, it also speaks to the relationship the people have had together. Honorable Basalirwa and my president have been friends. They have worked together. So they have a history together. So it speaks to the relationship that they have had. But when I listen to the statement, it's like he was introducing his candidate. He said, previously I came and I introduced this person. I now take the honor of introducing another person for these reasons. So the way he brought it, it is on the basis of the history. That previously I came and brought in a candidate, I am now bringing another candidate for some reason. So it's not like he's going to attack other people, but They have had a history, and that history informed his speech.
You see, Aisha, I'll help you here. President Museveni does the same. This is politics. All politics is local.
But
when you go to an area,
does not take
when you go to an
Museveni.
area, yeah, you do research as a candidate, and you know which issues in this area will resonate with the people. I think the Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi had done his research and known that NUP was gaining ground against Honorable Basari Razwat, Jema, and probably his possibility of returning to parliament.
Okay. So in your opinion, what are...
Yeah, President Museveni has always gone to places and told people, you send me wrong characters from opposition.
Yeah, that is opposition. It's not
whom I cannot work with.
That's internal.
As if you see when you say you brought constitutionalism, constitutionalism is supposed to come with what? With checks and balances. Yeah, if we are being honest to ourselves. So when President Museveni talks, he talks as if he's the alpha and the omega. He assumes that personality that Peter Sematimba bestowed on him when he called him Nanyini Sente. So that is, the kind of aura that he speaks with. That when I like what you do or the people you send me, I'll dish out.
I guess on this particular, you're not right. Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, my president, did not speak the way he spoke because President Museveni does that. No.
No, it is politics. It's the nature of politics.
It's a given fact that Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, my president, and Basari Asman, my friend, they have a history together.
Okay, what do you find remarkable as the big highlights of the couple of weeks in which the candidates have been traversing the country? Who is making inroads? Who is carrying the day? And how are the stakeholders performing generally?
The campaigns are boring. You see, presidential campaigns are supposed to be electrified because you are carrying aspirations of a people. You are telling people, you are selling a dream to people that in the next 5 years we intend to change this country from where it is to a dream status that you are aspiring to as a people. So what we are seeing is NUP, same old song, saying we are being curtailed from campaigning freely by the security services. Or the security forces. That is the main thing coming out of the NUP's presidential campaign. When you come to the NRM, like I said, President Museveni has now renamed. Now we are not talking about Bonaba Gagawali. We are talking about PDM. Yeah. When Honorable Namanja was talking about PDM, I had wanted to remind her that there was that incident when the president flew in a helicopter with his entourage, and they were inspecting 4 goats. A farmer who had 4 goats. And you can do the mathematics there. You have all these resources deployed to go and inspect a farmer with the 4 goats. Yeah? Apart from sentimental reasons, I don't understand why
say the momentum is low.
The campaigns are not innovative. They are not offering anything new. Putting that aside, I will comment on something else, which is largely missing out in current affairs commentary. The civil society is absent in these campaigns. And the reason the civil society is absent is because of what happened in the United States, the USAID being, almost wiped out. That is why the civil society is absent in these campaigns.
So why?
Yeah. So why am I saying that civil society is absent? If political players are, are throwing jabs and then counter jabs, somebody else who is not an active player in the political field should actually say, okay, we are going to take the security services or the security officers to court. Yeah? Why are they overstepping their mandate? Nobody is doing that right now. Why? Because our civil society is a propped up civil society. Just like our elections, where I've kept on submitting that our elections are a facade. Yeah? And they are propped up by, you see, the Honorable Namanja is telling us how President Museveni runs away from foreign forces. President Museveni is still president because the UK wants him there, because the United States wants him there. If the Westerners don't want him there, they will discard him.
Very interesting. I'll come to you, Honorable Namanja. Let me hear from Honorable Semuju. How do you measure the tempo of the election, the campaign so far? The tempo, the message.
First of all, you need to understand that Museveni and many NRM people think to compete against them is a favor that has been extended to you. Just to allow you to compete, you must be very thankful.
Are you?
I've said that's what Museveni thinks.
Mentality.
That's what many NRM people think. There are many things that have happened prior to the campaigns. the Honorable Mao, and I want to thank him. There are many people who are attacking him for no reason, because I look at Mao as a commentator. So if the game is boring, even the commentator will tell you it is boring. So don't be angry with the commentator. He said this is going to be the quietest elections in the world. He was just telling you what was going to happen. If you see, I've seen many, the Honorable Kyagulanyi of the Unity Platform and a few other candidates, they will guide you how they want to campaign. In Rwanda, I'm told they even appoint competitors. So these ones have not appointed, but they must guide you on how you compete against them. So the raw momentum is not because the population has lost enthusiasm, but it's because you are running into a guided campaign. If they choose to close the main road,
the venue they will choose, the route they will choose.
The CDF at the beginning said, there are many things he said, but I remember some of them. He said, for us, Wahima, you opposition, you will see what is going to happen to you in these elections. He said that. And then he congratulated NRM after their primaries and congratulated his political party for the first time, a military person, and said, for us, our work is to give you logistics. And all those things are recorded. So this election is as Mao had warned the country that it will be. So Mr. Museveni will enjoy.
Was the country too naive not to read the memo?
There are those who didn't, but as I said, I remain thankful. Museveni ran this election as a government project, fully funded, with the entire state deployed to ease. Because I mean, at 81 years old, at 81 years, Museveni is no longer the Museveni who came here in 1986, the 40 years we are talking about. He's grown old, he's tired. You can even see him when he's talking, a very tired man. So even the rallies must be organized to suit his biological limitations now. So you must have few, because he can't compete with you, you are disturbing him. So his campaigns will go and are being managed and prepared as a national public program to which every government ministry must contribute. If there are, in some cities you will see some posters congratulating him by authorities, by local government, welcoming him, and then the entire, you need to see when Museveni is traveling, say to Pakwach, you just go to the road leading to that place. So you will see the whole government traveling there to facilitate him. So that's where...
the sitting president.
But the law says he can only use resources ordinarily attached to him, ordinarily. But anyway, now all the resources in Uganda are attached to him. Even the law is useless. The law is useless. All the resources are attached to him. So he chooses, even as he goes around, you have given you a district, you have given you money, you have given you a road, you have given you... So we are not where Tanzania is, who banned the opposition party and detained the main opposition leader who was supposed to be contesting. We are not where Rwanda is, where they appoint competitors, but we are near and we are on our way there with the current CDF that you have. I have told colleagues, I suspect this might be the last election of this nature. We may go into the one of Rwanda. So even these ones who are moving around, they are not going to be moving there, because in Rwanda they don't need you. So this country should worry. Everyone should worry, and there is a cause to worry, because you can control traffic in Kampala where there are vehicles. Why should you stop a procession in Kasambia where you have 2 vehicles on the road? There is nobody on the road, and you say you don't want a procession. Why?
Okay.
Because in Kampala you can say you are
security has been the biggest nightmare. Now the security now is restrictive, and there is calm.
Yeah, because you see, what they agreed is that please don't brutalize them. That makes them popular.
I really understood the perspective, but going to the tempo of the campaign, unlike during COVID, because we are now looking at both President Museveni and Honorable Kyagulanyi have contested. This is the second time that they are contesting together as rival candidates for presidency.
And
the first one. No, I want to look at Honorable Kyagulanyi because Mabiri's, did he participate during COVID?
Yes. Yes, he did.
Oh.
No, Mabiri's was 2016.
That's what I remembered, where there was a presidential debate, because he has contested twice. This is his second time. So during COVID, I'll give an example. The first rally of President Museveni was in Kaumu, and he was meeting 150 people. And with the 150 people, we sat in 2 tents, and he made his address at night. He came to Nakasero and made a radio address. And then Honorable Kyagulanyi went to Balikyewunya market towards around Kasana and Luweero there. And there was a big rally at the market itself. Now, this woman who is selling bogoya, or anything that they are selling, or tomatoes and whatever, you never know how they lose out. In the market, at the market of Balikyewunya, the people from Luweero will agree with me who know that market and where that rally was. So that was the difference. And in the same perspective, when you talk about the NRM rallies, Honorable Aisha talked about the entourage. The president's entourage does not move with campaigners or voters. He comes as yes, he's a candidate, but also a president. And when people are moving from Nyimbwa, I am still talking about the Luweero rally in this campaign, because this time around we were able to make rallies. Our rally was at Bukalasa. So it's okay for people to move from Nyimbwa without a candidate. And they move and they reach Bukalasa. Business, the difference, because when there is a presidential candidate worth the support that he or she has is a magnet of sorts, whether in the opposition or if one is really a participating, a serious contender, yes, is a magnet. Whether you like it or not, even if you don't want people to follow you, they will follow you. So it is another thing that supporters are moving towards the venue. The rally of President Museveni in Luweero was at Bukalasa Agricultural College playground. Business in Woblands was going on normally. But really? People were moving from Nyimbwa, people were moving from Makulubita, people were moving from Katikamu, from Tweyanze to attend the rally.
Were you aware of the traffic hold-ups on Bombo Road?
But traffic hold-ups, that was without the candidate. Yes, they were there because, for instance,
people were held for hours, business came to a standstill. All along.
That is also one thing that we must appreciate. Even if President Museveni is the candidate today and is a president, and another president, even if Honorable Kyagulanyi becomes a president, he will not move the same way the others move.
Okay, fine.
That is granted. We must also appreciate that.
We can't close roads for
They
hours.
did close roads, but you must also appreciate that the way people support other candidates, those who are NRM also have their right and conviction.
You're talking about closure of roads.
They did close the road to refuse people. And the reason why we put it in Bukalasa, by the way, there was an option of Kasana playground. But Kasana is just by the road, by the main road. We said we shall not stop business and paralyze transport. We took it to Bukalasa. Bukalasa is almost 2 kilometers from the main road. So for us, even where President Museveni has been in northern Uganda, we demarcate an area where the rally will be, let people go and be in that venue. The candidate comes by himself and speaks to the supporters and goes to another venue if he's to do 2 rallies a day. But so the rules of engagement, can I ask you, for me, that's what I am looking at.
You want to take a question from me?
I wanted to
ask
you, I've seen the Honorable Kyagulanyi in Kasanda, where there is almost no vehicle on the road. Why would you have a problem with a procession on a road that is almost not used?
It depends on because if they agreed on where the rallies will be. Because let me tell you, even the NRM supporters can do so much if there are no restrictions. What we do on our part...
So who is playing to the rule book here?
What we do on our part is self-restraint.
No, I think...
is self-restraint?
No, I think Honorable Namanja should not fall into the trap of becoming an apologist for police's excesses.
No, I'm not an apologist for police excesses.
Yeah? Police has actually behaved recklessly.
Even the issue you people are saying...
Fine. It's Honorable Namanja's turn. Please continue.
We write officially. Because that's what the law demands. And this business of saying that NRM gives people a favor, for us, every candidate, we take them seriously. We do all our work to reach to a level that we are starting campaigns. Has been a process that started in March 2024. With our register, we move, we reach to candidates, we hold the conferences at the various levels, right from the village level, parish level, sub-county level, district level, and even right now, we have our campaign program and strategy that we are employing. So we do not say that because President Museveni is a president, we are not going to look for votes. We do it just like any other person does.
Does the lukewarmness of the campaign, because normally campaigns used to start off on a high note, but this time they are lukewarm, does it speak to anything?
For me, it's not. This is just the second week of the campaign.
Is it too early?
We are just starting the campaign. We have reached each of the candidates, because what brings at times the hype, if I may call it, is when you have moved in various parts of the country. Each of the candidates, maybe Honorable Kyagulanyi has been in eastern Uganda and also in central Uganda. For us, the NRM candidate was only in Bukalasa and went to Lango sub-region. From there, he is now in West Nile. From there, he will go to Acholi sub-region and then finish with Karamoja in the whole of Northern, and we know that we have covered with... So each of them have their strategies, and maybe at times what brings out the hype is when you are all campaigning in the same area. But I would comfortably say, as somebody who sits at the party headquarters, that for us on our part, we do self-restraint if we are, because they agreed on the same programs. And colleagues all know here that each one of them has their program. They synchronize.
Because who will restrain you?
Pardon?
Who will restrain you? You can only
we restrain ourselves because we know
nobody can
what the law says.
You are conducting the choir, so we expect you to be self-restraining. So what you are saying, you are simply telling us...
by the way,
being
self-restraining does not mean that you also go against the law. I gave you an example of a rally
because you are the law.
Of a market.
No, you are the law. No, you are the law.
Mr.
You see,
Egesa, we are not the law. Let us be
realistic. You are acting like you are the law.
As we are speaking to Ugandans, some of them understand these things better than we do. So for you to say that we are the law is also wrong.
No, you behave like you are the law.
You as a strategist and civil society.
No, I'm not in civil society. No. I am actually a strategist for active politicians. So when I'm working for a politician, I tell the politician that this NRM we are facing in this case, supposing it's an opposition, yes. Supposing it's no, I also advise. No, I advise NRM candidates as well.
I wouldn't take you on.
Yeah. So,
I wouldn't take you on.
No, okay. No, it's because
Mr. Gesa, I don't want us to start advertising your services.
I wouldn't take you on.
No, the point that we are trying to.
I have a question for Honorable Namanja. You know, you say for you yourself, restrain yourselves. And then, I don't know, whom have you seen going against the law? For example, in the case of Iganga, what had we done that caused police actually to stop us from accessing the venue?
I don't know what I don't have the facts for Iganga. I don't know exactly what happened there.
You determine, you sit in advance, determine the playgrounds where you're going to have rallies. Where you determine your playground, the RDCs determine the playground for us. Where is that written in the law?
I said
where is it written in the law that the RDCs actually
by the way,
will determine for us which grounds and which people
I think that's not a question for Namanja. Namanja is bidding for her candidate.
No,
Simon.
She's
I gave an example of a rally where I was personally involved. we wrote to the RDC, and even the traffic.
To do what?
Because we inform them that we are going to be in this place.
The RDCs at your rallies, they are on radio campaigning for NRM. So you are writing to your campaign manager.
We are bringing thousands and thousands of people in one place.
You're just being ridiculous. So the RDCs are campaigning for themselves. No. So you are writing to your own agents.
The office of the RDC is the one in charge of security, the district, regardless of who they are campaigning for, if they are campaigning anyway. But for me, at our rally,
so you write
I don't remember.
You write your own
I'm
agents.
giving an example of a rally where I was involved in terms of preparations, but also determining who will be addressing the people.
Right to them.
Even the traffic, Simon, they are talking about. The traffic started from where Katikamu South constituents starts from Bombo Kwabiri. That's where, because people were moving towards Bukalasa. You didn't find the traffic in Kawanda.
Okay, in terms of messaging, have you taken time to analyze the message? Because it's now coming to a two-horse race. Have you taken time to analyze the messaging of Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi?
For me, I am concerned about our messaging, because we are appealing to the same people. It's up to them to choose which message they will go with. My message is saying protecting the gains as we consolidate. I mean, as we make a qualitative leap.
2021, you were consolidating gains.
No, please, we are securing, and that is up to us, by the way. That is up to us.
Just a second.
We were securing the future.
And in 2016?
And it is up to us. We are not going to dictate. We are not going to dictate what slogan Inup is using. We are not. It is our responsibility to determine the theme, to write our manifesto, to determine the messaging. And it's up to the voters. Those people that we call Abantu Bafabawansi, Bagezi, those people understand. They know what they want. And they will take their decision. And ours is to continuously, even as I'm talking to them now, that let us protect the gains. What has been achieved under the NRM, we want to sustain and to anchor on that and
how about
drive
what
forward.
Has been lost?
What has been lost?
To hell.
No, if there's anything where we have not performed well, that's why we are saying we are improving.
You protect, okay.
Yeah. Earlier on, when we were talking about the journey from independence to where we are, Honorable Namanja told us that there has been some notable contributions, positive contributions that have come from the opposition candidates that have run.
That's why you have opposition people in government.
And she even told us, she gave the example of Dr. Besige's 2001 message on graduated tax, abolition of graduated tax.